Susan Boyle looked like she might be a producer's idea of comic relief when she walked onto the Britain's Got Talent stage last weekend. Watch what happened.
How old are you, Susan?
I am 47. And that's just one side of me.
Okay, what's the dream?
I'm trying to be a professional singer.
And why hasn't it worked out so far, Susan?
I've never been given the chance before, but here's hoping it'll change.
Okay, and who would you like to be as successful as?
Elaine Page.
Elaine Page.
What are you going to sing tonight?
I'm going to sing I Dreamed a Dream from the Miserables.
Okay.
Big song.
Okay, what happened after that became famous, and we'll show you in a little while. How did you feel, by the way, Susan, when you came on stage?
It felt very daunting at first, but I gradually picked up enough courage. I was very confident with the panel.
Now, people laughed, though, when you walked out. Some even rolled their eyes. They made faces. Who is this lady? Didn't that hurt you a little?
It didn't bother me because I knew I had to get on with my act.
So you had no question about your singing?
Well, I wasn't sure how it would be received, so I just thought I'd give it a whirl.
All right, you're a judge, Piers Morgan. What did you make of this whole thing?
Well, I sort of feel like apologising to Susan. So, Susan, I know you're listening. I'm sorry, because we did not give you anything like the respect we should have done when you first came out, because it had been a long day in Glasgow, in Scotland, lots of terrible auditions, and then you came out and we thought you were going to be a bit of a joke act, to be honest with you. And then I can remember, every time I watch the clip, it takes me back to that second when you began to sing, and I have never heard a more surprising, extraordinary voice coming out of somebody so unexpected. And I mean that with the greatest of respect to you, than what happened that day on stage. And I'm just so thrilled about what's happening to you now. It's incredible.
I think we all are. We'll be right back with Susan Boyle and Piers Morgan. An incredible story. Don't go away. Sensation. Video, by the way, of her audition for Britain's Got Talent has gone viral. 30 million hits on YouTube. Piers Morgan, one of the judges for Britain's Got Talent. Before we continue with them, watch this. Susan Boyle steps on the Britain's Got Talent stage. People snickered. She starts to sing. Watch what happens. What went through your head, Susan, when the crowd reacted the way they did?
Gosh, it's fantastic. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. I'm really overwhelmed.
Piers, unless there's a miracle happening, wouldn't you say that she's going to win?
Well, she's certainly the favourite. Apparently, she's the most odds-on favourite ever on Britain's Got Talent at this stage of the competition. But Susan knows that there's two big hurdles left. There's a live semi-final at the end of May, and then a final if she gets to that. So anything can happen in a live show. And I also judge America's Got Talent. And we've got the same situation here this season where we've been doing some auditions and we've got some incredible acts who you assume may win it. And then you see another one come. And this is what makes these shows so surprising. And I think Susan knows better than anybody this game has a lot to be played yet.
You agree, Susan?
I agree entirely.
By the way, have you taken lessons all your life, singing lessons?
I've had a few singing lessons, yes.
Just a few?
Well, I had a few over 2 years. A few months over 2 years.
How did you select the song you sang?
I sang that song because it fitted in with the circumstances at the particular time. It was the way I was feeling at the time. It sort of summed up what I was aiming for.
Piers, what was your thought immediately as that first notes came out?
I thought it was extraordinary. One of the most astounding moments I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And we had a similar situation with Paul Potts in Britain, and we had it with a guy called Terry Fator on the American show, who went on to be a $100 million act in Vegas. And the thing about these shows that I love, Larry, is that you can get people like Susan who have lived a dream all their lives but never had a chance to realize it, and they're not, by their own admission, the kind of stereotypical pop star look. They couldn't get onto American Idol or shows like that, and we are their only real hope of achieving this kind of stardom. But what's astounding is the speed and the breadth of her success. I mean, I've been getting calls today from China, from Russia, from Australia, all around America, all around Europe. Susan Boyle has gone from total obscurity in the space of 5 days to global superstardom, and that's just extraordinary.
Susan, are you gonna record now?
Well, it all depends on the results. We'll take baby steps at a time.
I don't think
I'll take
you
each
need.
day as it comes.
I don't think you need the results. Don't you think that she'd get a contract right now?
Well, I spoke to Simon Cowell, who also judges Britain's Got Talent, last night, and he's in Hollywood. And I think it's fair to say that his eyes have been going ka-ching ever since Susan's performance, because Simon's a businessman and he knows his music, and he knows he's got somebody with an extraordinary voice and this global phenomena going on around her. And I think that within a year, whatever happens to Susan on the show, whether she wins or not, I think we're going to see a #1 album around the world. I think we're going to see a world tour. And I personally just want to say to Susan, thank you for coming on the show. And to any Americans watching here, by the way, we are still auditioning for America's Got Talent. Susan's laid down the challenge. You know, can you come and do on the American show what she's done in Britain?
I'm saying you're going to have a hard time finding anybody. Susan Boyle stunned a lot of people speechless, as we said, with her singing. Not the judges right away. Watch what happened.
Without a doubt, that was the biggest surprise I have had in 3 years on this show. When you stood there with that cheeky grin and said, I want to be like Elaine Page, everyone was laughing at you. No one is laughing now.
I am so thrilled because I know that everybody was against you. I honestly think that we were all being very cynical, and I think that's the biggest wake-up call ever. And I just want to say that it was a complete privilege listening to that.
Okay, moment of truth. Here's yes or no.
The biggest yes I have ever given anybody.
Amanda?
Yes, definitely. Brilliant.
Susan Boyle, you can go back to the village with your head held high. It's 3 yeses.
I was going to say only in America. I guess they only in Scotland. We'll be back with more moments with Susan Boyle and Piers Morgan, and she may sing a little for us. Don't go away.